Hey, greetings, family. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, Empress Razira Menin. Yes, family. One perfect balance. Yeah, greetings. Man, look, welcome to another episode of Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. And if we're not correct, just go ahead and correct us. Ain't no issue with that. Inbox us, send me a message. You know how it is. Give me a call, make it happen. But tonight, I'm gonna give you all a minute to cruise on up in here, man. We gonna deal with a serious issue, man. How do we stop our youth? Listen, I don't even know how many videos alone this week. I got about five more today. About five more videos again today. This is crazy. Not to mention the physical altercation I had to intervene in yesterday in Whole Town. Two young ladies. Man, give me a second, man. Let me turn this device on. Although I shouldn't have to. Working with a different set of gas, a different set of gears tonight. Want to give thanks for the upgrade. Definitely got to give thanks for the upgrade. One of the days I'm gonna do it behind the scene. Come a long way. But tonight, family, I want to touch a real serious issue. Real serious issue. A real serious issue. I got so much stuff to cram into tonight. It's not even funny, but we gonna see how we gonna get through this piece by piece, chunk by chunk. We gonna get through this, man. We gonna get through this. Where do I start? Oh man. Yes, Alex. I know about the Bloomberg scenario. We know what's going on with it. We see it. We ain't gonna put too much focus on it, but we're gonna touch on it. We're gonna touch on it. Monica, I see you. Sonia, I see you. Family, before I gonna drop this tune, I want to say to all the brothers and sisters that are observing the Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. To the Islamic community, Assalamu alaikum. Ashe Hotep, Conscious Crew. Namaste for those on that Eastern Front. My brothers and sisters, Rastafari. To everybody else, love and light, man. Love and light. Love and light, man. You can pull this one from the top, man. I can do a little Bob Marley tonight, man. Who the cap fit because let this one right out, family. Go tell a friend and tell a friend, man. Politically incorrect. We up and running, man. We up and running, man. We up and running, man. Tell a friend and tell a friend. So unjust, so unjust, so unjust, man. What can we do about that, family? I see you, Wanda. Your best friend, the Utes, man. The Utes, man. By the way, YouTube is back up and running, family. YouTube is back up and running. So only tell the Utes, man. No such thing as BFF here. No such thing. So fast these Utes turning from friends to enemies. Uh, friends. Gotta watch them. Tell a friend to tell a friend, family. YouTube is back up and running. YouTube up and running. No man curse. Tell a friend and tell a friend, family. Share, share, share. Yes, if the night turn today, if the night should turn today, let them wear it, family. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Yes, tell a friend, family. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Man to man. How do we stop our youth, man? How do we stop the youth, family? Same youths that are they hang out together, they play football together, they make sport together, and quick so that change in an instant, man. Quick so. Yes, let them wear it, family. Show me corn, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Man, look here, family. I so many videos I have here right now regarding the drama that unfold this week alone. Imagine school just reopened. And let me put this on vibrate because this is going to keep doing that. Imagine that school just reopened, family, and already, man. I mean, I've seen incidents. I mean, the videos just keep they're coming from all different directions, and it is sad. It is sad because a lot of stuff going on, and I know everybody busy. Everybody happy that the mask was, mandate crap, whatever was it lifted, and but while all this is going on, we have some other issues that ain't being addressed. We have some real serious issues that are not being addressed. And I think we would have spoken truth to power a few weeks back when we talked about, what's going on in the homes with the children in school and stuff. Even going back to last year, we talked about this. I think this deserves our undivided attention. So although I know there's some other stuff going on, I might postpone that because you really can't sell the ocean. Anybody in the world that could sell the ocean. The ocean don't belong to nobody. It don't belong to anybody. The ocean is, like Bob Marley said, none of them can stop the tide. No matter how the politician talk, none of them can stop the tide. They can't stop nature. They can't control nature. They might be able to manipulate nature, but there's repercussions for doing so. So, Alex, we will get forward to that in a few, but this right here deserves our undivided attention. The amount of fights that happen at school this week. If you have a child going to school and you don't believe me, ask your child. Take a minute right now and go to your child and ask your child, wait a minute, providing your child didn't come home and tell you, go ask your child. If you have a child right now in school, and whether it be primary school or secondary school, especially secondary school, go ask your child if they had fights at school this week. And if so, how many? Take a minute, go ask your child that question, unless you're not home with your child. And you will see that there was a lot of things happening this week at the schools, perhaps more at some schools than others. And while we here, battling COVID protocols and mandates and everything else, and police having wrestling matches in Jordan supermarket, as comical as ever, like that is as comical as it comes. I couldn't believe. I think that was staged, man. That was probably staged. But we have some serious issues to deal with, family. And I think if we don't deal with them now, they're gonna resurface at some point. I mean, you gotta answer to them later. So what I gonna do now, right, is I was tempted to play a few videos, but I don't think I'm gonna play them. I mean, I don't think you want to even see these. I don't even think you want to see these because it does something to me, man. Like, yo, man, this is crazy. At any point in time, any one of these children can be severely injured. I think it was even a stabbing at one particular school. You know, another school, a guy got his teeth knocked out. I mean, another guy got hit over the head with a chair. I mean, there's all kind of stuff going on. What's fueling this? Why do youth seem so angry? Why are they so angry? Why our children seem so angry? You know, there's other schools in Barbados with other kind of children. You know, you don't see videos coming out. You don't hear these issues coming out. Why is it always us? Why is it our children? So, family, I need some feed for it tonight. Talk to me. Let me know what's going on in the homes. Let me know what's going on because you see this thing called depression. I think a lot of our youth are affected. Like, you know what? They talked about the COVID situation with the press release they had yesterday. And I listened to part of it, couldn't stomach to listen to the rest of it, really. But you know, I listened to a lot of what was said. The truth is, they lift stuff. Okay, sorry, they use the word relax. They relax the state of emergency restrictions or whatever they call them, really. But what I noticed they never talked about was the mental impact it had on people. And how do we address that? You know, it's okay to say that we relax things, which is funny because Barbados today, the 23rd of September, is in no different a situation that it was in August 23rd, July, June, May, April, March, February, January, and December, November, October, September, August, July, June, and I would have missed June just now. But the point I want to make is that nothing has really changed. So what they're doing now in terms of relaxing is because, like they said, they took their time, but they're following the others. They just been following all along. The reality is, you know, we are no different of a position. According to them, the COVID is still here. There's still cases. There's no difference. It's the same thing. We are no different a position today than we were in 2020. Except now you got folks who have gotten a jab or whatever you call it, and there's no difference. We're in the same position. So all the things we would have gone through to keep us safe are now relaxed to expose yourself to. There's no difference. Just be clear on that. Let's be clear on that. But while we were doing all these different things, apparently for no reason, according to them, we just following the product, whatever they were following. Our children were subjected to, you know, being at home, locked in the homes, the whole online school, the pressure of that, things that happen in the home that a lot of us may not be aware of. Some youths really don't have a place to be consistently between parents or grandparents. Food, some youths actually don't have food. I remember Biak was feeding youths going to school, free breakfast. A lot of youths don't have no food at home. Youths are struggling with all the fear of the whole COVID thing. There's so much anxiety that was created. Our youth was on a tremendous amount of pressure. And yet here we are now. We're saying, open up the gate, put them all back together, and lock them in school for 6 hours. It's like a concentration camp, man. And it's a very volatile situation where anything is liable to happen. And clearly we're seeing that as what's happening. There's been a lot of violence in our schools this week alone. And this is just the first week. A lot of youths are angry for different reasons. They have detachment issues. I mean, they have not seen their friends and each other for so long. I mean, this is Generation Z. And Generation Z is the youths who were born into technology. Everything is for them is impressionable. So the whole YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever else they're working with, this is what they locked into. So a lot of this has affected them. You know, bullying is still an issue. A lot of youths are going through so much pressure. It is unreal. How do they cope with pressure? Unlike an adult whose mind is supposed to be developed enough to channel their emotions and control themselves to some degree, children who are developing don't have that degree of control, and usually will execute that or exercise that um, lack of control in a way where they usually get aggressive. Now, unfortunately, all the youths go to school together, so they're allowed to pick on somebody else. Now, I've seen even videos today where it originally started out as a conversation, it escalated into an argument, and before long, these guys, and they're two big guys, are brawling and fighting over situations. Well, who got stopped down and who didn't get stopped down, who's brighter, who ain't brighter. So ego and self-esteem is on the line. Well, I can't let you talk to me like this, and you calling me out my name by some other term, and I got to prove to you that I am better than you. And one of the youths got hurt seriously. I mean, that could have been fatal. But then what? What is the schools doing? Does the school even have a program in place? The school have an idea how to deal with this kind of stuff outside of calling the police and sending them to our newly refurbished Dodds Government Industrial School? Is that the plan? To create a pipeline from school to the Government Industrial School? Is this the plan? I don't know, man. A lot of youth at school have fear, a lot of fear, fear of even failing. So because they have this fear of failing, that they even act different towards again each other. And because of that, you'll find that a lot of the energy is all boiled down to energy. If you look at any of these youths fighting, if you look at any one of these videos that you see circulating with the youths fighting, there's a lot of aggression, a lot of aggression. What's fueling this? What's really fueling this? Did the government do a study or a survey to figure out, is it okay to let these youths come back to school so sudden? Is it okay to put them all back together like this? I mean, based on what happened last term, how it ended off, and where we are now, I mean, I think that somebody needs to look into this thing with a matter of urgency. And I think the parents at this point are going to have to step up in a way that maybe wasn't stepping up before. We can't put all this on the school or the system, because at the end of the day, it's apparent that they don't have, the best interest of the children at heart at all. For the mere fact that this is what's going on, and they don't seem to be any plan in place, any objective in terms of how we going to curb this. Not even a dialogue about it. As a matter of fact, you might hear something now because it's being mentioned on Politically Incorrect. So we already know what's liable to happen next. You're liable to hear maybe sometime next week a press conference addressing the issues of the violence in the schools. Because believe you me, it's out. I mean, if I was to play a video right now, and I'm tempted to play a video right now, I mean, this would send you all into shock. At least some of you, not all. For some, this is a norm, because this kind of fighting happens at home. This kind of abuse happens at home. And I bet if you look into this situation with these young men, especially one with the young man and the young lady, which is another whole conversation, whatever happened to don't hit girls. I feel this young lady's pain. I don't even know if her parents were to see this as a mother or father. And that's one of the reasons why I will not be playing these videos, as tempted as I am, because imagine you're a parent at home and videos circulating, and you get a ping on your WhatsApp group, and wait a minute, a fight at a school. You identify the uniform because wait a minute, my child goes to school there, and to come to find out that you might have heard about an altercation, but here you are now seeing something where you see what actually happened. Man, look, that would drive somebody crazy to see your child on the ground getting stomped out or beaten with a chair. People. The Barbados Youth Action Program. The irony is that we went into a lot of schools in Barbados. Lamumba could tell you, and we addressed a lot of these issues and got a lot of positive responses from the schools and the youths in the schools. I mean, it was so successful that, I mean, we had people in other countries coming to Barbados to model our program to take back to their countries. You know what I'm saying? That's how serious it was. We have other programs throughout the region trying to partner, model what we have so that they could have a similar effect with their youth as well. And, you know, the government in Barbados never, well, I ain't even going down that road, man. I know for a fact they don't have the interest of the youth at heart. You know, they would rather continue to, you know, fund and push programs that, okay, that may be effective to some degree to some groups of other youths. But the youths that usually end up being the ones who are most violent, they don't have an answer for that outside of Dodds, government industrial school, or prison. But prison is a business. So you got to understand that the Barbados, what it, Her Majesty's Dodds, I am sure that that is on the stock market. I plan to do a series on that coming up. I know the businesses in Barbados that are listed on the stock market. There are a number of things, businesses in Barbados that are listed on the stock market, and there are people who invest in these businesses in order to, well, gain capital, of course. But here's the thing, though. You would think that a lot of these businesses that have the name Barbados in them to some degree is to help the people of Barbados. The truth and the fact is, the government may have a set of shares in the business, but for the most part, a lot of it is private, and people invest in making big money off of your real estate, your what do you call it, your resources. Dodds is no different. The child needs people to talk to. Some relationships with their parents are difficult. Ricardo, I gonna tell you the facts, man. I'm telling you, it is a fact. Seriously speaking, man, we have some serious issues. When I saw these fights, if I could blur these images and show you, I would show you, man. But other than that, I wouldn't do it because I would not be able to stomach that as a parent watching and seeing this stuff. You know, youths at school getting stabbed, getting their teeth knocked out, young ladies on the floor getting stomped out, punched all in the face and stuff, young men. I don't know, man. This, I mean, come on, man. On a serious note, this is something that we need to take to another level, family. Like Barbados Light and Power. Of course, there are people investing in a lot of stuff here, so they don't have a. I mean, there's no desire to stop a lot of the stuff that's going on because after all, some people are benefiting from the way it is. They're benefiting from the way it is. So, um, this is gonna. I'm doing a live. This is crazy, man. I tell my see you family. What I would like to see right at this point is parents get a little bit more involved in this thing because we can't put the blame on the teachers. We can't put the blame on the school. We can't put the blames on the parent. We got to blame ourselves as a whole. Remember, it takes a village. We can't see this situation, watch it escalate, and sit back and do nothing. There's some things we're going to have to do. And one of those things is get involved. We're going to have to get involved. Whether we want to or not, we're going to have to get involved in the school. The guidance counselors, I don't even know if they have the capacity to deal with it because what they learn isn't really, this is something totally different. A lot of these young men and young women might be already, involved in the use of drugs. They might be all involved with what we know as what we call gangs, and there may be issues going on from different levels. I remember we was in St. Kitts. The mom was I with I, the mom and I with I. When the mom and I were in St. Kitts and going into one of the schools. They call one of the schools Vietnam, and I've spoken about that before several times. And I was like, why would they call this school Vietnam? Like, but if you think about Vietnam, Vietnam was a war. I mean, Vietnam was a place where they had a war, the Vietnamese War with America, and it was like, it was military versus guerrilla warfare. So for the youths to call this school and see the school as such, Where I am seeing our schools going slowly is what we witnessed over a decade ago in another country. And so, as much as we have warned them that this is the direction this is going, and we need to, talk pressing brakes for COVID, we need to press brakes on these schools. A lot of these schools are falling apart. And the reason why they're falling apart, and one of the main reasons why young men, especially young men and young ladies in some cases, are having these behavioral problems, is because the way the school is structured in the first place. The way it is set up is part of the problem in the first place. You think they don't know that? We only now talking about this, and we've been doing this for a little while, but they done study this. They done study it on other countries. They know how black youths are going to behave when you put them in a certain position. They already know. They know how they're going to behave. They know how they're going to act up. They've already studied this thing for a while. They know this. They know this. But yet they act as if they ain't got a clue. Yes, parents have to get involved, show up at the schools, see how kids are doing. I agree. Look, I said this a while ago, that if you're a parent and you have a child at school, you should be able at any point in your day to click on a link for a video and get footage of your child's classroom. You should be able to have access to your child's classroom, or any classroom for that matter. What's there to hide in a school? What security breach is there in a school classroom being shown, being on a live stream, live feed to a parent's phone based on the IP number? Why? To watch the child's performance, to watch the teacher's performance, because the truth is, remember the government industrial school? I bet you a lot of these teachers got psychological issues as well. And a lot of them probably not qualified to be in the position of teachers. I am so serious. Who's doing a peer review? Who's watching? Who's looking? Who's checking? And of course, if you feel offended by what I say, they probably talking about you. Because I know a lot of good teachers, man, that I give shout outs to. Maximum salute. If I was prime minister for a day, I would double their salary and increase the amount of staff and put teachers in training in the class to assist those teachers without question. Double their salary, man. Teachers are too important to begin them chicken scratch. Give them all the resources they need to mold the minds of the future leaders of our nation. When you shortchange teachers, you shortchange the youth. When you shortchange the youth, you shortchange the nation or the future of the nation. So we already know who would. We know. We know y'all don't care. But I bet you a lot of these teachers have psychological issues. I remember an incident once at a school where a teacher, I mean, oh man, I still have that video actually. I got a few videos, man. I mean, I ran into a young lady walking home from school. She was in one of my, she was actually one of my daughter's class. She was in one of my daughter's class. So I went to school to pick her up, whatever. But I ran into the friend first. I watched, she's on the street walking. I think I mentioned this before last year at some point. Sobbing, crying, mad tears, snot the whole 9 yards. This is like maybe back in 2015, 2016, something like that. Yeah, 2016 for sure, around that time. And here's the thing though. So naturally I pull over like, because I recognize her. I mean, I recognize her. They all know who I am. They all, So I'm like, what happened? Somebody trouble you, somebody hit you. I'm ready to just spring into action. Like, what up? And shout out to the family, by the way. And she said, nah, man, I just saw my teacher. I'm like, oh, so why are you crying? She just said that if I don't get my work right tomorrow in this test, she gonna beat me. I said, wait a minute. And you crying now? Like, I mean, crying crazy like somebody had died. You would think something terrible happened to this young girl. And she probably was like maybe 10, 9 or maybe 9 probably, 9, 10, maybe 9 years old at the time. I'm thinking, wait, what kind of sick, twisted teacher you have that just because she said, if you don't get your work right tomorrow, I'm going to beat, lash, flog, whatever, to the point where this child was so traumatized by those beatings that she immediately broke down into complete panic and fear and was crying like you would think, like, I don't know, man. A lot of these teachers are abusive. They are abusive. There's a fine line between correcting a child and abusing a child. And a lot of parents justify this because, after all, when I get licks when I growing up too, and they ain't do me no, and then I turn out all right, that's your problem. You know, you think you all right, and you're not all right. You got some mental issues that you don't even realize you have. You yourself is sick, and you don't even realize it. So naturally, you know, that perpetuates itself. Man, look, man. And the thing is, teachers don't have no right to hit your child. None. None. I wish the parents at the time, I would go sue that school, man. Go sue that teacher. Go sue the school. Go sue the ministry. They have, that's matter of fact, and call the police. That's assault. That's assault. They don't have no right to hit your child. As a matter of fact, I don't even have that book here. Where I got that book somewhere. There's a book by the Ministry of Education that deals with corporal punishment. I just hate the term. I don't even like the term. Corporal punishment is what they call it. Corporal punishment. Not correction, punishment. The principal and the senior teacher are the only two people, to my knowledge, if I am not right, let me know, who are allowed to punish your child. Anybody else with a stick taped up, even if they give them one lash, that's assault, man. Hold these teachers accountable. All that about, spare the rod, spoil the child. That's not what that verse meant, first of all. And that beating the children came from the plantation, beating the devil out of them. Y'all got to cut that out, man. That's why a lot of these youths are so violent and so hostile, because I remember me going to school. They used to beat, man. Look, I tell you all, man, in retrospect, looking back at it, I could tell you for a fact, it was abuse, man. They used to abuse the crap out of me, man. I'm telling you, them licks wasn't licks to correct. That was pure abuse. Them teachers was just abusive, man. And they don't even see the day. And they felt they were doing the right thing. A lot of them probably got off on it, was enjoying that. Oh, sick people. Sick, man. Sick. I think one of them right now, well, ooh-wee. I ain't gonna talk your business, but it's sick. Look, the society is so sick, right? And the adults, we don't have a youth problem, The youth is not the problem. The adults is the problem. All youth are being this way because of adults, not because of themselves. Adults, man. You got young ladies and young men who having identity issues and not sure about their gender and their identity. They got all these new brand names and different terms to use. And so, I saw a video the other day where somebody, went and got themselves altered physically to become, well, not to become, to look less like who you really are in order to present and accept yourself as what you're not physically, but psychologically. Well, I don't identify as a woman anymore, a young lady anymore, a teenage girl anymore. I identify as a teenage male. Okay. So I want to go to the doctor and have my breasts chopped off so I can look more like a teenage boy. And you got doctors who willing to take that money and perform that surgery. So sick we have become as a society. Sick. Sick, man. It's sick. Think about it. If somebody went to the doctor, right, and said, let me show how sick this is. Somebody go to the doctor and say, well, look, doc, I've been watching a lot of war movies, a lot of Tour of Duty and different movies. And I'm thinking to myself right now, I kind of relate to these veterans who come back here with missing legs. Do me a favor, doc. Just go cut my leg off at the knee, because I don't identify as an individual with two legs. I kind of see myself as being in a wheelchair. So go ahead and just cut my leg off. I think the first thing the doctor going to do is going to recommend you for a psych evaluation. I guarantee that the doctor will recommend you for a psych evaluation. Hey, doctor, I kind of think that my nose blocks my vision from seeing my upper lip. And I have a fetish for seeing my upper lip. So what I want you to do is just sever my nose right down to the gristle. So I'll be able to look and see my upper lip. The first they gonna send you to I have a friend of mine who go see that. They're gonna refer you. Why? Because they're gonna say you sick in your head. But yet a young lady or a young man could go and say, look, cut this off because I no longer need it. I see myself as such. And you got adults that say, well, that's okay. That's okay. They want to know why the youth behaving the way they're behaving. We got adults, that's the problem, family. I'm telling you right now, man. Adults is the issue, man. Straight up. We have some kid adults instead of adults. Some of these guidance counselors, in my opinion, are overstepping their boundaries. Facts. Facts. A man get enough licks in school. We lost our way as a people. Listen, brother, that whole licks is Puritans. The Puritans is who bring that up. I telling you, you got parents. This thing is so deeply ingrained in people. Look, man, plantation mindset here. You got parents that will go to the school and tell teachers, listen, if they don't hear, beat them. Cut their ass, pardon me. Beat them. Beat them. Yeah, right. You cannot punish a child and make them learn. There's some youths that might respond to that after maybe one. You cannot, but generally speaking, and there's no educator in the world who is worth their degree and their knowledge in salt would ever agree that lashing a child or punishing a child or beating a child, which in most cases abusing a child. Here's the worst part. They do this in front of the class in some cases where you got a class of primary school children, especially the younger ones. And they go to the front and something go wrong in the book. And the teacher with all the skill and swiftness of the Matrix movie would reach across the desk and grab the bamboo or the piece of wood wrapped in masking tape, usually to mask the fact that it's not what it is, but it's something different, and give that child or a ruler across his legs or across his back, couple of lashes, and have that child in a wiggle like a lizard who has lost its tail. And other children get to watch this. You can imagine what that does to the mind. And we think it is all right. Parents, look, any teacher that lashes your child, take them to court. Take them to court. I don't care what they tell you. Your child is not a dog. It's not a horse on the garrison on Saturday running for the Gold Cup. They might be running for the Gold Star, but they're not horses, man. This thing with this Christian, look, man, I wouldn't want to go down that road. The Christian, right, spare the rod and spoil the child. When they talked about, I had a conversation this afternoon about Christianity, that was started in the Western world in Barbados. And a lot of people don't know that. Was started right here in BIM. Right here in BIM. Here's some food for thought, family. Did you know, right, that when the plantocracy decided to Christianize the Africans on the plantation, those that were enslaved, the reason they did it was in order to control you with the threat of death and going to hell. If you die, you're going to go to hell if you don't do as I say. So the whole purpose of teaching you Christianity, the way they taught you Christianity, not the way that it is written in the book. That's why they forbid you to read, because they knew if you started to read, you would learn for yourself that what they were teaching you is not what is written in that book. That's why don't misunderstand what I'm telling you. And the reason why they did it was to gain full control over your mind. Look, if you don't do this, you're going to hell here. You want to burn in hell? Because although you might be going through slavery now, if you be good, you get to go to heaven where there's streets of gold. You have your own mansion. You get a crown, the jewels. Even the gate is pearly. And here's the best part. You wouldn't have to work anymore. So that became the bargaining chip for a lot of people accept Christianity. So they would take a few of these Negroes and give them stuff in Jesus' name. So the others would feel with it. Like the same vax, you know, those who got it could go a certain place, and if you ain't got it, you can't go. Reward. They would reward you with trinkets, reward you for your obedience. But what they never told you was that you could never go to heaven. Well, wait a minute. Hold on, Emmanuel. That sounds a bit contradictory. You couldn't go to heaven at the time they taught you Christianity. But why is that, Emmanuel? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they saw you as less than human. As a matter of fact, you were considered 3/5 human, meaning you were an animal, equivalent to a cow or sheep or horse. You had no soul. So therefore, why would they try to save you and save your soul from the damnation of hell when they had written in the books that you are not even human? You are a beast. Can I get an amen? But your past ain't going to tell you that. They ain't going to tell you that. They ain't going to tell you that what you practice as Anglo-Saxon form of Christianity is plantocracy disguised to control you with the fear of going to hell. Because what Jesus said in the book is a different story. We could talk about that all day, every day. He said, seek ye first the kingdom, and all, including the pearly gate mansion and the streets of gold, will be added unto you. Not when you die, but right here on earth. Well, where's the kingdom? The kingdom is inside of you. And anybody who finds the kingdom finds themselves. We don't teach this to our children. We believe in beating the devil out of them. Otherwise, they're going to hell. So a lot of youths don't care no more. They don't care. They don't care. I watched that young man beat that young lady, and I said to myself, I don't know who daughter this is, but I tell you, it can be mine. The board of education. Look, man, the young man, look, here's the worst part. The young man who had no problem assaulting that young lady is also a victim, family. Don't just think the young man who's assaulting the young lady is also a victim in this thing, you know, because he's comfortable doing that. The question is, where you get that from? Where he's seeing that? Because man, look, man, I hear. Let me see if I could do this thing here. Let me take a minute and compose myself. Yeah. Family, the music, right? I ain't gonna front, man. Like, I can't even front. The kind of music all youth listening to is also playing an influence in this picture. And that's why you would find that. Think about it. Growing up in the I'm a 70s, I'm a 70s baby. So, you know, I grew up in a different I actually grew up with John Travolta. Saturday night fever. You know what I mean? Although that movie was a bit violent, I enjoy that. Like, you know, the Bee Gees was my thing. The Monster, the Bee Gees. Yeah, the Bee Gees. I'm telling on my age, man. Yeah, the Bee Gees was my thing. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? Yeah, getting a bit nostalgic there, man. But guess what? Then something changed in the 80s. The music started to get a bit more aggressive slowly. And I watched it come into play. Cyndi Lauper and Boy George and these other people. Yeah, I said Boy George. I ain't going front. Back then, Boy George was the music man. You know, we was young. We ain't know no better. We didn't even know what that Boy George. We had a clue what we know what that is now. But the words he was singing was a lot of truth. Cyndi Lauper, Michael Jackson came into play with the album coming into the 90s. And the thing is, the music kept changing slowly. Well, guess what? we in a whole different space now where, YouTube would ban you for sharing information based on information, but they won't ban you if you put up a video of someone getting murdered. They wouldn't ban you if you put up a video of someone being sexually abused or assaulted. They wouldn't ban you if you put up fights of children fighting. They don't ban you if adults engage in activities with little children. They don't ban you. But if you put up some information, some factual information at that they don't show you what they don't post what is the dispute, like, well, nah, that's not legit, this is what it is, they just shut it down. Man, look, man. Look, man. Okay. Okay. Family, we got some issues that we got to resolve, though, right? That's just the reality, man. And, you know, as far as what's going on in BIM, our youth need our attention with a matter of urgency, man. I mean, seriously. I agree. The chemicals in the food as well. And that's a big part. You look at the menus at these schools, a lot of these foods, man. I mean, there's no nutritional value whatsoever. They're feeding the children when the day come. Here's the other thing, though. A lot of youths not eating no food. A hungry man is an angry man, right? A lot of these youths are not having lunch. A lot of them don't have. A lot of families are not doing too well. They told the pandemic. A lot of families were not doing well before COVID. You can imagine what they're doing now. A lot of people lost jobs and stuff, man. Um, okay, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I see something here. Um, Timothy Paris said, I'm so stupid. I'm not sure what you're referring to on that one exactly. You could elaborate on it for me. That'd be nice. I would like that um, as well. Listen, I got a call. I shouldn't even mention that. I got a call yesterday from a family abroad, and they family lives here in Barbados, who was recently diagnosed with um, brain tumor, and blood clotting. I'm speaking in parables, read between the lines. You know what I mean? Real thing. A lot of people are getting injured for a number of reasons right now. A lot of families are under duress and distress for different reasons. And our children are traumatized watching this stuff unfold all around them. All around them. And it's like, what can we do? What can be done? What can be done? What can we do? We got to reach a point where we push this thing back. Somebody got to stand up and say enough is enough. And if enough people do so, then something will have to happen for sure. He said the YMCA. Alex, stop playing, man. YMCA. All right, so the YMCA was part of that too. But we know what the YMCA was now. We fully know, Alex. We got it. There's a lot of abuse going on, family, right before our eyes. You got to pay attention to what your children are listening to. You got to pay attention. Parents, listen, man. Listen, man. Takes a village. I ain't going front, man. In minivan culture, the same thing. A lot of the music they play in the morning, especially brand name vans, especially the brand name vans with the children love because of the music they play. They don't love it because because of what happens on the van. We all been through it, man. I've been there, done that too. But the reality is, it is destructive to put those frequencies in the child head early in the morning like that. And the tunes, most of the music they playing isn't inspirational music. Well, it's inspirational, all right. The question is, what is it inspiring them to do? We got to start taking this thing to another level, man, family. We got to hold everybody accountable. We're losing our youth, and our youth, our most valuable resource. is our future. We cannot afford that, and we can't exchange we can't exchange their future for our instant comfort. Nah, you gotta watch the music they're listening to. You gotta watch what they're watching. You gotta watch who their friends are. What's going on in the school? You gotta start paying attention. You gotta pay attention to who these teachers are. A lot of these teachers got agendas in different ways. You gotta pay attention to the teachers. Don't take for granted that look. Schools are right now concentration camps. That's all. There's no education coming out to school. The youths that do good and excel, look at their background. Their parents might have them going to lesson. They might have special tutors and all kind of stuff going on, and they might have assistants. For the most part, a lot of youths right now, look, take a survey of the school's record in terms of test records. Let the ministry put it together. I'm sure there's a chart to show this. I'm sure because they enter the data in a database. So they could pull up right now a chart to show you that the youth are failing. They are failing. A lot more youth are failing. They're falling behind than ever before in the last 2 years. I guarantee you. They don't bring those statistics out because if they bring it out, you'll see that right now school is a joke because the numbers indicate school have consistently for the last 2 years been failing the children. Look at the numbers. Numbers do not lie. Look at the report cards, man. All right, so you got one or two who do accept the gap. Look at the gap. All right, I'm not saying that they're not some students who perform. Most of them might have assistants or have that kind of discipline. We give it to them all the best. But you see this class system where there's a word for it. I don't remember the name for it. Where they separate the bright students from the ones who don't do so well. Like class 1A. And then 1D, 1D and quite, and 1A is all the bright ones. So they put all the bright ones together, and then they put all the other ones. As a matter of fact, hold on a minute. What school is that recently had a M class? I was listening to something recently. What school is that? That school there by that secondary school there by what's it called? Well, the post office there by by Westbury, up that by the junction right there, that triangle. What that school name? Louis. What's the name of that school? Somebody give it to me. The school up there by when you're approaching Eagle Hall by the post office. There's a left turn in there, and I don't remember the name of the school. But they recently St. Leonard's. What was it? St. Leonard's something Memorial. What's the full name of the school? Well, I don't remember what it is. I think the school added another class. Leonard's Secondary. Okay. St. Leonard's. I think it's St. Leonard's, so I could be wrong. St. Leonard's Boys. But there's a school that they recently added a letter. I don't recall what it is, but the point I want to make is that if you take all the children who don't do very well, because there's a rule that says you put bright students with students who are not doing so well, more often than not, that bright student will pull other students up with him. And this is so that teachers know. You put some bright students among other students who are not as keen on or don't grasp the work as fast, you'll be surprised how those students improve. Well, the same thing is equally when you turn it around. You put all the children that are not as bright in one class, they pull each other down even more. They don't even do as well. And when we have this system where they separate the classes, although you're not supposed to do it anymore, yet they still do it, and they still do it, then these are the issues that we create. So we're not positioning ourselves to help our young people. We're really not doing it, It's the illusion of inclusion. No one respects informers. This is for those who like reporting this program to YouTube. That's all right, Aaron. Don't mind them, man, because they got to realize that YouTube keeping track of them too. They like that kind of stuff. And that's all right, man, because this thing about being a snitch and an informer in our culture, here's the reality. There's some aspects of it that we got to look at and be realistic. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why the youth right now are the way they are. They buy into a culture, and a lot of them don't understand. You know, a lot of them don't understand, man. Wrong is wrong. You live in a certain culture, a certain lifestyle. There's certain rules that come with that lifestyle. If you're living that, but you can't expect the average person in society not to be an informant because they're going to be informants. That's what they're conditioned to do. That's what they're conditioned to do. So you knowing that, you got to be the one that's mindful not to put yourself in position that they can inform on you, because they will. And in some cases, they supposed to. Well, that sounds kind of strange. Well, yeah, because if you at home and you and you watching mommy abuse a child, or mommy boyfriend, for example, abuse another child, or uncle abusing a child, you can't. So if you tell somebody that's if you say something about that, that's wrong. You're supposed to say something about that because it's wrong. It's wrong. And so we got to teach our children how to think and recognize it's a system, yes, but there are rules of engagement. But if we don't teach our youth the rules, then the BET going to teach them, the radio stations going to teach them, Starcom Network, Hot 98.1 or whatever going to teach them, because a lot of music these radio stations be playing. Let me talk facts, man. The government radio station in Barbados, the music that the government radio station, we can't knock the minivans because minivan man looking for money. So he gonna do whatever he got to do to get the crowd, to get the money. He not even interested in no culture. He ain't even thinking about no. You want the music? Come burst the van. Let me get this money. That's what he wants. Get this paper. But the government now, what's their excuse? They want ratings. So they're going to sell out the youth and play all the music, brah, brah, all the vulgarity. So what, you bleep out the word? You think the youths don't know the words? You think the youth stupid? You think the youth slow? We have an issue with our adults, not our children, family. And if we don't start to guard and protect our children, we going to have issues, family. Issues beyond our wildest belief, man. The fact that they still got this thing with the school children wearing masks, right? Like, can somebody from the health department show us where and when in Barbados have there ever been a spike in cases in schools? Show us the data that support the fact that you still making these children wear this stuff. We want to see the data. All we ask, matter of fact, ministry first thing Monday morning, I'm down at the ministry. I'm telling you right now, I had the ministry Monday. I want to see the data. But the ministry gonna say, well, we don't know. We just following the orders. Okay, where you get the orders from? The Ministry of Health? Okay. So after that, Ministry of Health. We want the data that y'all are using that force the youths to have to still wear these muzzles on their face while they're at school. Because no once in Barbados, to my knowledge, and if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me, have they ever, I'm about to call ball stick here, have there ever been a spike in cases in schools to the point where schools have to? What's the justification in that? It's funny. If I didn't know no better, this mandate was relaxed to accommodate the tourists, because every other institution that is set for locals, restrictions are still in place. But like, for example, supermarkets, you ain't got to put it on and go into a market, but you got to put it on to go to the doctor. You ain't got to put it on to go to supermarket, but you got to put it on to go to school. As if school children don't go in the supermarket. You got to put it on to go into a market. You don't have to put it on to go into a market, but you got to put it on in the bus. I think there's more people in the supermarket than can possibly fit on a bus. What do I know? What do I know, right? What do I know, man? The children have better immune system. Where is the data? We want the data that they're using. So, call the ministry and ask questions. Call the ministry and ask questions. All you gotta do is start asking questions and watch how fast it change. Monday, I bet you next week they change this thing. How much you want to bet me? Nah, we don't want it to make sense. No, we don't want them to make it make sense. That'd be too insulting to our intelligence. We want the facts. Give us the facts. Let's read it for ourselves. Let's read the information that you read that led you to conclude that this is what is the right thing to do. Let's look at it with a different pair of eyes, because clearly, where my shades at? I gotta put on my shades, but I don't. My darkies, man. Don't start that. Don't start that. Don't start that. Don't start that. They would be like, wait. I don't know you. Listen, on a serious note, this is what the data. I'm not saying anything good or bad about it. I don't know. I declare my hand. I'm not giving no advice. All I have is questions. You can't fault a man for asking questions. I ask questions. Where is the data that y'all use to reach this conclusion? We want the data so I could put it up here and show Barbados, and I would make it clear. But look, I was wrong. This is the reason right here, and I agree with them 1,000%. We want the data, and we coming for it. So you got the weekend to do whatever you got to do to support that, because we coming for it. As a matter of transparency. Yeah, we want it. We want it. Dr. Who was his name? Dr. Best. Wait, whatever happened to Corey? Where in Barbados is Corey Ford? Like, where did he disappear to? Like, we done this man career, politically incorrect, because you don't even hear this man, Mr. Google Boss. Look, out and bad, man. But on the real though, family, that's my thing though. I just want to know, we just want the data, family, that justify having our children go through this. Wait, what? What? Where is this young man right now? Somebody, please, where is he? They fired this young man and then tell Barbados. I wonder why. Jacqueline, send me the link to that video. Just send me the link. I can't even look. This thing is so sensitive that I can't even read that, because if I read what you say, it's like I said it. Shut it down. You can believe that. Not that I care if they shut it down or not, but it would just stop the folks that don't have Facebook from coming on the platform. That's all it does, and that ain't cool. So I would take one for the team, family. I only hold in steady for now, but Rumble coming soon, family. Don't worry, Rumble coming soon. So once we get Rumble up and running just now, you ain't got to worry. And Steve, yes, we've been up on Rumble, man, but I give thanks for the link. But you got to understand, right? Everybody think that it's this simple to just do these other things, do all these things, because I am home bored all day doing nothing. I like the folks who advise me to do one favor for me. As a matter of fact, let me go and be very plain about it, man. All the folks that always got advice for me, do me a favor. You're on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday at 8 p.m. Also appreciate your support. But do me a favor, set up a PayPal account. If you overbroad all the advice you be sending me, send me some ducats too, man. Motivate me to go and do the things you tell me to do, because it's cost, it's resources. It only looks simple, it ain't simple. It comes with a cost every single time. And guess what? Although I do it out of love, there ain't no issue. But see, when they decide to shut my stuff down and they're going to be running here scrambling, trying to make it happen, it only looks so. It only looks so. Make it happen, family. Make it happen, man. Support the program, support the resistance, support the revolution. That's just a fact. That's a fact. I told somebody last week that might have to shut it down, come on, like twice a month, every other week. One day, Friday, every other Friday. And I got a call from a lady who is 82 years old. She said, well, it'd be a shame to see you have to go. I got a few inbox messages from people. And I give thanks for those who inbox and had something to say about it. But I did that, because reality, like I said, family. All right, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. I got it. That's the reality, people. That is the reality. That is the reality. The system got millions of dollars to do the crap they be doing. You think they do that for free? They got a lot of people who sit here and watch this that might be reporting the program for free because they just, they have, well, whatever their reasons are. That's their reasons. But we out here trying to make it work. Make it work. We in this together, family. This is a fact, man. This is a fact. 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 Let me go and play this video real quick. Let me pause this video real quick. Growing up, family, a lot of things we didn't even realize because we were young, right? We were young. So, we grew up in this thing, but we didn't recognize what it was all along. But our children are at stake. See that TV? See the movies? You see, was it Nickelodeon, Netflix? What's the other one? Nickelodeon, Netflix. They got another one too. Teen Nick or Nick Teen or Teen Nick, Nicotine or something like that. Nick Teen or whatever. Family, you gotta pay attention to what the youths are watching because a lot of subliminal stuff go on right in our face. And like I said, they're being conditioned to accept something. Is this generation, Disney for sure, give thanks. Is this generation the last generation? We are the ones that got to change this whole thing, family. We got to change this thing. We got to change it, man. If we don't change it, family, we in trouble, family. Watch this here, man. Watch this video real quick, man.
Written on their faces, Elwin. The industry ain't a safe place for children. Had it, it's coming, can't be spared. For years, Hollywood been Hollywood. Since Different Strokes, it's all coming out. Now we know what Willis was talking about. Bicycle Man, Omnis, look, serving them wine, slipping between their comic books. Taking pics of black boys while his shirts is off. Hurts my core, which explains furthermore why Tar Bridges later came out and spoke about it. Told what his publicist did to him in private. How many other kids felt the wrath? Full House, you don't even know the half. Bob said, betrayed as innocent dad, despite the episodes of him with them kids in the bath. Weird relationship with Mary Kay and Ash. The infamous time they ain't show up on the set, so he had to use a doll to practice till they arrived. Got caught on camera with the nah.
Instead of Ashley and Mary Kay, as a 3-year-old kid, they gave me a doll to talk to. So I'm like talking to it, and then I just grabbed it, threw it on the bed, and I just started pretending,
Like I was saying, this pains my core, but unfortunately, wait, there's more. Disney blank check, nobody intervened. A grown woman and a little boy the scene. As a parent, I'll lose it all. Netflix cutie, I ain't find a cute at all. From Netflix and children, Netflix and children. Dancing provocative, the agenda is obvious. The something's out of order. When one of Hollywood's biggest directors marry his own daughter. Woody Allen, as a parent, what's really happening? From R. Kelly, selling dreams to them babies, manipulating their minds up to Kevin Spacey. This whole industry is definitely wildin'. But we ain't even talk about Epstein Island. But guess what happened to all them little kids on that island, just water under the bridge? Part 2, we gonna set it off. For now, protect our children at all costs.
Protect our children at all costs. At all costs, family. At all costs, man. That's just the bottom line. That's the message for the night, man. Protect the children at all costs. I don't think enough need to be said, man. Enough is enough. If it is that parents got to start going to schools during the day, fathers going to school, check on the children during the day, mothers roll up in there during the day. Whatever you got to do, man, save your children, man, because whether he the victim or both a victim, whether he in DODS or he in ICU or worse yet, We losing them, man. We got to save our kings, man. Our young kings and young queens. We got to save them. Got to save them. And look, there's no excuse, man. None. This whole system got a plan. Right now in Trinidad, maybe I should show that video, man. Let me see if I can find that one, man. Right now in Trinidad, man. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, man. Telling y'all, this ain't no look, man. This ain't no game, man. Right now in Trinidad, man. And man, look. I ain't even looking for that right now. I'll put that in the group chat, man. I think I did already. Hidden in plain sight, right in front of your eyes, family. Hidden in plain sight. Nah, we ain't dealing with it, though. Serious, man. Serious. Black movie star at some point put on a dress. If you don't, you are done in the industry. Facts, man. Facts. Facts. Seriously, man. Serious, family. The agenda clear. And my thing is, I ain't knocking nobody from whatever they want to do. But as you start going at the children, right? Can't sit down on that one at all, though. Nah. Listen, family. If you have a child in school, get your child's timetable. Don't just leave it up to the child. Get the child's timetable and look at it. You see that class called guidance counseling or whatever class they call it? But they got different names for it, right? There's some books that your child don't have at home that these classes provide to the students at school. And these books that you don't see is what exposing a lot of youths to a lot of other stuff going on. Start asking questions, family. Don't take it for granted, man. The system ain't what you think it is, eh? It ain't that at all. It ain't that at all. It ain't that at all. You know what I mean? Far from it. Far from it. Now, without getting into it too much, let me just say this real quick, only because it is relative, and it's relative for obvious reason. You can't talk about the youths if you ain't talking about the future. And information like this, it applies to the future, it applies to the youths. So when they talk about Barbados swaps 150 million of sovereign debt to save the sea, we need to understand what that really means. And in order to understand what that really means, remember a few months ago, as almost every night on this program, I think almost every night on this program, I mentioned this word right here. I always mention this word, sovereign. And guess what? It's not new. It was always used before, since the 70s, 80s, and different movements and stuff. Different people were risking at it. But the thing is, as always, you cannot beat the idea whose time has come. But guess what? Now we can discuss this, because this is the time to discuss this. As a republic, as a nation who's recently become, quote unquote, a republic, we need to understand a few things. First of all, Barbados is a country. But the question is, then what is a country? Because Barbados, the island, the physical island, go look at that video, who, where, or what is Barbados? Did that a few months ago. Go look that title up and watch that. Because Barbados as a country is a corporation. Barbados as a country is not the physical landmass. It has nothing to do with that. As a matter of fact, it has nothing to do with the ocean either. So when Barbados, the country, start speaking language, start infringing on things like sovereign, using that word, understand these are pirates that are robbing you. That's what this is. There's the pirates that are robbing you for your own wealth, your own resources. So if you don't guard your resources, which is your rightful inheritance that you pass on to your children, then what are you passing on to your children? Well, look at right here. The other word that they got here. What's that word? Here. Debt. That's why the guy was on a radio station talking about buying back the debt. You buy back the debt. Well, let me put it to you this way. In America, this is where I learned this anyway. Let's say you on the block, you know, it's always got that man on the block. They call him a loan shark, but let's watch me here for a second. So I go to the corner shop, the bookie, and I'm betting on these different numbers, because this is all illegal. I'm doing legal numbers, and I'm betting on these illegal numbers, and I'm losing money. So I'm in the bank. I'm in the red now for, let's say, $100,000. I owe these people $100,000, and now so I ain't got the money though. So now here comes a loan shark now, and says, "Well, wait a minute. This guy right here, I need him to do me a favor for something, because maybe I might work somewhere that this guy needs a favor." So what he does is he goes to the bookie that I owe $100,000 to and say, "Hey, listen, look, man, what he owe you? You owe me $100,000. I want that. I want my money. You think he could pay that money? Nah, you got to hurt him, right? Yeah, but I don't want to hurt him, because if I hurt this man, I ain't getting my money. Well, here what? Let me buy his debt. Word? Yeah. I'll give you 80,000. I'll buy it from you." So he might sell it for less, because as far as he's concerned, I can't get it anyhow. So he don't want to take a loss. Well, at least let me get the 80,000. I'll call it even. So now this guy buys your debt. So now he owns you. Think, family. So now he owns you, because now that he got your debt, see, he play a different game to the bookie. The bookie might play by the rules of the book. The loan shark guy, he ain't doing that. He is shark. So right now, you in his pocket, you in his debt for life until you clear that debt that he just bought. Sound like slavery to me. But anyhow, don't mind how they play with the words, fam. We're going to touch this next week. Don't worry. We're going to bring some heavy hitters, and we're going to discuss this on a different level. Not just this, though, but what this really means. That's what's important. Anyhow, family, on that note, man. ISIS, you funny, man. Credit notes. Yeah, we coming to that just now, family. We coming to that just now, man. We coming to that just now, man. We coming to that just now. Just now. Just now. And don't get tired with it, you know. And a lot of people say, well, this stuff been going on for years. The boy never really did this and did that. We could talk all that chalk, man. Or we could do something else, man. We could build our nation and make it happen. Make a difference, family. The lines are drawn, man. Don't get caught out to sea. Lines are drawn. Do not get caught out to sea. That's the bottom line. We got to save our children. Our children, our youths, our offspring, rather, is our most valuable resource. We cannot afford to lose them. Generation Z. Yo, there's a movie called World War Z. Y'all remember that? World War Z. Go watch that. Go watch that. Go watch that. We going to be continued, family. Anyhow, I going to wrap it up. Thanks for staying in. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I was going to touch this one here, man. I ain't even going to touch it, man. Like, I ain't even going to touch this. I'm just going to delete this clip right here. I ain't even playing this. Like, don't even make no sense, man. All this stuff just be pure distraction as far as I'm concerned, man. All these press release and this and that, man. Yo, will Fred resign? So wait till me, will Fred resign? That's true. Yo. We had to call him Willie Lynch, not Wilfred. Give thanks, family. Give thanks. Ricardo says son go private school, and that's not an issue there. This makes a lot of sense, because after all, they carved his name on a tree. Oh man, family. Looks like, man, I don't know. Anyhow, family, we got a lot of work to do. And like I said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So get knowledge and get understanding, family. And then overstand the thing and move forward, man. Get to know yourself. Seek ye first the kingdom, family. Seek ye first the kingdom. Any man that finds the kingdom finds himself. According to our ancestors in Kemet, man, woman, know thyself. Having said that, you know where we're going from here now, man. I had a tune I didn't want to play earlier. I gotta see if I can find this joint now. Cha. Let me see. Yeah, I can play this, man. This is where we wanted to go tonight and drop this tune real quick, without question. Let me play this from the beginning. Pull this from the top. Let me try a thing, family. Love and light to YouTube family. Love and respect all the way. Shout out to the family that gave me a call yesterday. Give thanks to you. And we got your moms in our prayers, man. Let me try, family. Yes, family. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 o'clock, family. Tune in. Eastern Standard Time. That's right. Let me try, family. Let me try, family. Give thanks, Ricardo. Blessings to you and the family as well, family. Kinetic energy, man. Kinetic energy. Shout out to the family on YouTube, man. All the family on YouTube, give thanks. Give thanks. Shout out to the elder, man. Shalom. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom. Much works to do. Big tune. Morgan Heritage. Let me try, family. Shout out to Be Out, man. Be Out, man. Be Out, man. Never stop, man. Never stop working, man. Shout out to Lamumba. The War Be Out family, man. I know, Jackie. Tell me, Jackie. Tell me, Jackie. That's interesting, man. You're right, Jackie, but I don't even know. I don't even know how that's happening. Man, I wouldn't be surprised at all, Jackie. I wouldn't be surprised at all, man. I know you don't know how this thing go, man. So if you did not hear the music just now, understand that it was playing here loud and clear, just like it normally does. So you can only hear Emmanuel. Well, there you go, family. There you go. Y'all already know how this thing go, man. Y'all already know, man. That's all right, though. That's all right. Your voice has an echo. We done know it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh man, this is crazy. That's all right, man. My voice should not have an echo, but if it has an echo, then y'all already know. Jacqueline said the same thing. You know, the funny thing is, even if you wasn't hearing it playing, it's playing right here, and the mic is right here. So even if it wasn't playing through the system, you should still pick it up, right? I wonder if the folks on YouTube was hearing it. That's interesting. No Facebook could hear the song. It could be, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyhow, that's all right. The link right there, gonna play the tune and give it a listen, man. Positive tune. Strange enough. That's all right. Stranger things have happened. There's been some changes and some upgrades though in the virtual studio, along with the Facebook as well as YouTube. So, like I said, they let me back in the building, and it's all good. But we're going to other stuff now too, going to different levels, man. That's all right, family. Listen, this is what y'all do, man. Send a WhatsApp. Y'all already know the number, man. Where's the number? The number is eight. What's the number? Wait, what's the number? Number is 838. Yeah, 8253. Yeah, that's what it is. Area code 246. Area code 246 838 8253. Send a WhatsApp message and let me get this thing happening. 838-8253. There you have it right there. So link up. We're gonna link up Monday, family. Got some stuff to discuss. I give thanks, family. I give thanks. I give thanks. I give thanks, family. That's what's up. That's what's up. We in this together, family. We in this together. Simple. I'm telling you right now. Simple. Y'all already know what it is, man. Link up. We gonna make it happen. Until we link again, enjoy your weekend. Get some rest. More importantly, go talk to your child. You have a child going to school. You have a child in any one of the schools, regardless of where you are. Just have a conversation, candid comment. Don't talk to them, talk with them. And listen. Create an environment where they feel comfortable to talk and just listen. Just listen. So yeah. Yeah. Let me roll out. They ain't play that one. I ain't gonna drop my other tune here and see what happened. I'm gonna drop one of our favorites and see what happened. Let me see what happened. Let me see what happened. Hmm. Uh, let's see what happened if I drop one of our favorites, man. One of our anthems. And we got a few anthems on here, man. Let me see if I can find an anthem. One of our anthems. One of our anthems on here. Well, this is one. Give me a sound check. That's all right. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here, man. We're gonna link up on Monday. Give thanks, family. Give thanks, family. Yo, family. Give thanks, my brother. That's all right, family. And it's the last week, first Empress of Germany. One perfect balance.